don't normally stream at this time, but everyone keeps saying, "Have you seen the Harry Potter trailer yet?" And the answer is, "No, I haven't." Um, the answer as to why I haven't watched it is, well, at least I'm going to watch it now. But why I haven't watched it is I'm not that into Harry Potter. Um, it came out at an age where I was more into mature fantasy narratives like Lord of the Rings and so on. And although I liked the Harry Potter films, I especially liked the first one. I found them as they went on. I sort of found that they got a bit boring. Um, I wasn't that into the characters as much as the kids. I guess I wasn't the target audience for Harry Potter. Um, I have seen the stage production. I've seen the West End stage production. It's very good. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. Um, uh, the Destiny's Child or whatever it's called, Child of Destiny or whatever. But I can't even remember what it's called now. But I went to see it. A friend of mine was in it, Gideon Turner. They did a big understudy run, and it was a lot of fun to watch that, especially with an audience filled with parents of the kids that were in the show. I am indeed a wizard. That is true. How did you know? Oh, I kept that quite quiet. Good to see you, Professor R2. How are you? So this is unscheduled, obviously, and I think this is not planned. So I'm gonna, and I did this in a bit of a rush. Now, the only thing that I know about this, I don't even know why they're doing this. Why are they doing? I don't know why they're doing this as a, why are they remaking it? Because I don't know if it's a spin-off, if it's a slightly new genre. I'm going to investigate all of these things before I get into this. Yeah, I haven't followed it because I'm just not that interested. Now, there seems to be some big furore over the one thing I have learned is that Papa Isidou, who, by the way, I think is a fantastic actor, absolutely fantastic actor, has been cast as Severus Snape, who also was played by an absolutely fantastic actor, the late Alan Rickman. I was a massive Alan Rickman fan, as anyone will tell you. Extremely upset when he passed away. And I really wanted to work with him. I wrote a character for him in something I had in development with a TV production company. The show never came to anything, but I'd written a role for Alan Rickman. So, of course, I always wanted to work with Alan Rickman. How do I feel about sort of interracial or changing up the races of casting established IPs? Well, I haven't read the Harry Potter books, so I'll freely admit that I don't know how established the description is of Snape. So I think let's have a quick look at have a quick Google on that and see what it says. Let's see. I have got the trailer queued up and I'm going to watch it. How is Snape described in the books? In the Harry Potter books, Severus Snape is consistently described as a thin man with sallow, in brackets, pale, sickly skin, a large hook nose, shoulder length, greasy hair, black hair, frames his face. He has a cold, black eyes, often compared to tunnels, and uneven yellow teeth, giving him a bat-like, intimidating appearance. So stringy and pallid, poor hygiene, twitchy. Now, one thing I do remember is that that's right. He's only 30 in the books, or 31 in the Philosopher's Stone. So I guess he's 40, maybe by the end of it all, or near there. Okay, so he's described as pale and sickly. He's not described as white, but he's described as pale. Is that crucial? I don't know. Let's see. I don't know anything about the Harry Potter TV series, but there is a Wikipedia page for it. So let's have a look at some of the things before I watch the trailer. So I'm curious to see about the other casting. Let's have a look at the other casting. Right, so it's an upcoming fantasy TV series developed for HBO based on the series of the book. So okay, so it's the whole thing done again. Really? Do we need that? Okay, I guess we do. Dominic McLaughlin as Harry Potter. He's going to be nicely rich, I should assume, by the end of it. Ron Weasley, Arabelle Stanton. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is season one. Look at that. Okay, so how many episodes? I wonder. See if we see that. Initially set for an HBO Max release, the series shifted to HBO, released by June 2024. Okay. Now it's scheduled to premiere for HBO December 25th, 2026. So this is a show that's 2 years late. So I don't know why that would be. It's a bit, don't think it would be the pandemic. Principal cast includes John Lithgow as Dumbledore, Janet McTeer as McGonagall, Paprika as Severus Snape, Nick Frost as Hagrid. That's a good choice. I think actually all of these are pretty good choices. John Lithgow's fantastic. He's a great choice for Dumbledore. Janet McTeer as McGonagall is a good choice. All great actors. First season is so the first season is okay. It's based on the book. Yeah. Lox Pratt as Draco Malfoy. Now he's highlighted, so I must have seen him in something else. Oh, that's right. He was in Lord of the Flies with my two nephews recently. Yeah. Okay. Recurring Johnny Flynn. Okay. Oh, he's Lucius Malfoy. Yeah, he's a good choice for that. Yeah. Pretty good casting. Richard Durden that's Katrina Durden's uncle, I want to say. Katrina Durden is a friend of mine and a massively underrated actress, in my opinion. Right, so it's a co-production with Warner Brothers and about 5 other production companies. So there's going to be God knows how many producer credits. Development from 2021, 2022. Right, series would span a decade. Each season would be faithful to the books. So one season, one book. Wow. So how many books are there? So how many books are there? Is there 8 books? 8, 10 books? Okay, so the agents were required to submit qualified performers without any regard to ethnicity, sex, disability, etc. 32,000 children auditioned for the roles. Wow. It's interesting that various actors were being considered, and Mark Strong, Mark Rylance were both in there. So that's interesting. Okay. Principal photography began in July 2025, so a year later than the scheduled original release date. Temporary school for the child actors was built at the studio, designed to be used by up to 600 pupils. It's interesting. All right. Lots of stuff about various locations. Hans Zimmer and his music company have been revealed to compose the score. Okay, interesting. Oh, hello, we got some comments. Hey, Sandy, not seen you for ages. That's an interesting one. I hadn't thought about that, Professor R2, because again, I don't know much about the books. I've not read the books, so I can't. Making Snape a black man changes the dynamics of how some events like bullying during his school years by Harry's father will be perceived. Yes. Oh, I see. Okay, right. Hadn't thought. Well, yeah. Will it tickle old nostalgia for the early 2000 films? Well, the last films weren't the early 2000s, because me and my ex-partner, we went to see, I think we saw the last 3 movies together, and we met in 2011. We definitely saw the last 2. We definitely saw the part 1 and part 2 of the Deathly Hallows together. When did that come out? I am going to watch the trailer shortly, so the 5 people that are hanging in with me, do hang in, and I'll watch it. Let's just look at the Harry Potter movies. You know, I fell asleep in one of them. To be fair, I had come back from a very long flight. So we've got, where's the list? There must be a list somewhere. Here we go. Right. Okay, 2010 and Deathly Hallows Part 2. So I think what's this? Axe Lord, what were you talking about? Oh, no idea what you're talking about. He's happy. Am I? I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched the trailer yet. I haven't watched it yet. Yeah, 2011. Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out. I have a feeling that we watched Part 1 and Part 2 of these within a few weeks of each other. So maybe I saw it on re-release or something, because I wasn't really that bothered. I felt like I think, you know, like was there like one good guy character? One of the brothers got killed in Deathly Hallows Part 2, and lots of like extras, but didn't really feel like many, you know, the stakes were that. I mean, of course it was explosions and all the rest of it everywhere, but I never felt like any of the main characters were at risk for some reason. Yeah, I like the Philosopher's Stone. The Philosopher's Stone was a good film for me. I liked Chamber of Secrets. That was a good one. I think the Goblet of Fire was one of the ones where I got pretty fucking bored. I think Order of Phoenix, I got pretty bored. And I think these 3, Goblet of Fire, Order of Phoenix, and Half-Blood Prince, these were the 3 where I was pretty bored. Prisoner of Azkaban I rated, because that had the Death Eater things in it, didn't it? Yeah. But yeah, these 3 I got really bored in those 3. All right, well, 9 people watching. Shall we do a live reaction to the trailer? Not seen it, so here it is. Let me pull that down. Probably going to get a copyright flag for this, but hey ho. I wonder if they'll include that do 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 do. You know, that tune. Right. Okay. All right. Here we go.
I told you. You are a normal boy. And you're going to start acting like one. You think you're something special? There is nothing special about you.
I've always wanted to know about my parents.
This looks a lot darker, doesn't it?
Your
Looks
parents
a lot
were the
moodier.
kindest, bravest people I ever met. They were funny and they were clever. And they stood up for what they believed was right.
A bloke like that stuff,
Next time I see you,
you'd be like,
we'll be
police!
Mr. Potter, I think we can expect great things from you. who you are.
Are you really Harry Potter?
I have to say I'm quite surprised. I thought it was going to look a bit more rubbish than that. I'm quite surprised. I don't know why I said that because that sounds a bit mean, but I think I need to watch that again. Let's go back on that. I mean, all of this is good. This is like
You're going to start acting like one.
the way this is shot. It's like
You think you're something special?
all this stuff.
There is nothing
I think it's actually
special
really nice. For you,
about you.
Count Taylor Hidden.
I've always wanted to know about my parents.
Your parents were the kindest, bravest people I ever met.
That's definitely good casting right there as Hagrid. Now, I might be wrong, but isn't that Janet McTeer who plays McGonagall? Is that not her standing in the back, or is that just an extra who looks a bit like her? Let me just make that. Can't really tell from this distance. Maybe not. Maybe it's just an extra. It's just an extra with a Janet McTeer haircut. I mean, this kid is good. I'll say off the bat straight away, I like this kid. I like this kid as Harry Potter. I like the.
They were funny and clever.
And he's throwing people.
And they stood up for what they believed was right.
Already.
The next time I see you,
Even though I do
you'll
like
be in Hogwarts.
that's going to be the Weasleys. That's the Weasley girl on the right. Look. I mean, there's some really nice. That's a really nice shot right there. It's a nice set. There's Janet McTeer. That's on sideways. I mean, really.
Mr. Potter.
So we've got Hermione, clearly from the hair. Ron Weasley, clearly from the hair. A guy who fancies Hermione, looking round at her.
I think we can expect great things from you.
Yeah, I love her. Lucky enough to meet her actually, and she was met her very briefly after a play. Very nice. So that's Draco. Yeah, so that is one of the kids. That's the kid from The Lord of the Flies who played the main villain one, I think. And I guess this is his little gang. I think that's they've included a girl in his gang this time. I think that's a good idea. I like that. Your sound is overtaken and muffled when the trailer is going. Well, that's probably because I'm showing the sound for the trailer. Game of Quidditch, the two teams coming out to play.
Let's see who you are.
Yeah, this was Miriam Margolyes, wasn't it, who taught like the horticultural lessons last time. So, oh, look at that. I managed to grab Dumbledore. He looks all right. I mean, you know who that really looks like? That looks like Richard Attenborough from Jurassic Park at that angle. He's a good choice. Absolutely a good choice. And there's a really brief shot of Snape, and I guess we should talk about this. Okay, I don't care that he's black. I really don't care because I haven't read the book, so I don't have a preconceived notion as to whether this character should be black or not. Having read the description in the book and he says he's pallid and whatever, you know, there'll be an argument from hardcore fans that the source material is being abused, and that's, to some extent, that's true. And the only person who can answer that herself is J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling has addressed the issue of race with her characters before. Like, for example, Hermione, it's never described what race Hermione is. So she's been black on stage, which actually worked really well. You know, made no difference effectively. I think, I mean, I really like Papa as an actor. So I guess my this is a cursed role because anyone who's stepping into the shoes of Alan Rickman is stepping into the shoes of greatness, you know. But we can already see from the tone of this that this is a much darker take from the get-go, because the Harry Potter films became much darker as they went on, but this show is going quite dark from the very beginning. So so I think it's fine. Well, yes, they are, but to us, but you know what? To 12-year-olds now, half of them won't have even seen the Harry Potter films. So they're all cursed roles to some degree. Yeah, I think the child actors will probably do well out of this show. But John Lithgow, you know, he's a great choice to step in for Richard Harris, and of course John Gambon, who succeeded Richard Harris. He's a really good choice. I think he'll hold his own against both of those actors. Papa against Alan Rickman is definitely a poison chalice, but you know, Papa's a great actor, so I expect him to rise to that challenge and do his own thing with it, and I'm sure he will. I mean, will I be chomping at the bit to watch this show? Probably not. Will I watch it? Yeah, probably. I probably will watch it because actually, I have to say, this version of it is a lot more interesting already for me than the last one. I quite like the take here, and the fact that it's a series and each season's going to be dedicated to a single book. Well, that's great because now they can include everything, can't they? So we're going to see a lot more. We're going to see a lot more. I quite like the world. I quite like the world of Harry Potter. It's quite interesting. All the funny names for things and the funny hidden shops and the leaky cauldron and all of that is, you know, it's all quite fun, isn't it? So this is a series. It's a series and it's a season per book. So the first season is the Philosopher's Stone. So this is a series. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be because I don't think that is on the Wikipedia page. And I'm finding out all of this for the first time now because I haven't really sorry, I don't get that comment, Wormy. What are you talking about? Yeah, let's just see. Filming, development. Rowling is still executive producer, so she didn't want Snape to be black. I'm pretty sure she'd have a say. Rowling offered positive feedback on the scripts of the first 2 episodes on social media on 2025, saying she worked closely with the writers, but she's not going to get any writing credits. By November of 2025, writing for the 2nd season had already begun. That's confidence right there, isn't it? Yeah, Paul Whitehouse is going to be in it, I know, which is Zargus Filch, I think his name is. Sounds good. Anton Lesser's going to be in it. Great. I liked him in Game of Thrones. He lives near me. I've met him on the tube a few times. But I'm not seeing anything about numbers of episodes. So, but it's going to debut December 25th. So it's going to debut on Christmas Day. Right. Okay. Let's see if we can find out how many episodes there's going to be. So, yeah, I'm not really bothered, to be honest, that Snape's black. You know what? All I care about is if the actor does a good job.
Are you really Harry Potter?
Do 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 do. The music's good as well. I like the music. Yeah, Christmas 2026, literally on Christmas Day, 2026. Yeah, I quite like the dark tone of the cinematography. Moonrunner City. Have you been on the channel? Have you been in my chat before? Don't think you have. Quite like the dark look of it. I quite like that. I quite like the 8 episodes. Thank you, Darth. So yeah, 8 episodes. So let's say what each episode is 45 minutes, 40 minutes. So you're talking 320 minutes minimum for them to tell the story of the first book. Whereas the first film was pretty long. It was about 2.5 hours. So so that's like 150 minutes. So yeah, so it's double. Nerdy UK says totally missed the trailer, but I can't imagine it was anything decent. I have to disagree, mate. Actually, I thought it's a teaser. It was fine. I thought the trailer was fine. Nothing wrong with the trailer for me. Look, people are going to argue back and forth over whether it's okay for Snape to be black or not, and in my view, it's okay. Obviously, J.K. Rowling doesn't mind. If she doesn't mind, I don't mind. I mean, it says that he's pale. It never states his race. So, and these are fantasy books. They are fantasy books. You know, they're children's fantasy books. I have no problem with this in terms of now. If it was a story set in Germany, and you had, you know, and for some reason someone had written a show about how Adolf Hitler became friends with a Ugandan or a Ghanaian or something like that, and people were trying to pass it off as some sort of historical story that's never been told, that would be utter nonsense and laughable. This is the realm of children's fiction, so I don't really care. I'm predominantly, as I said, all I care about is the actor good in the part. I have a feeling he'll probably surprise a lot of people. You know, it's like, can James Bond be played by a black actor? I think so. Should James Bond be played by a woman? Absolutely not, because that's in a different realm. They can make a female agent and do a spin-off show and call it 009. I'd be totally up for that. But you can't have 007, an inherently male character who was slightly chauvinistic, and they've always played on that trait, even in the Daniel Craig era. You can't have that role played by a female. It would just be nonsense. So I am in favour of being respectful to source material to the degree that it's absolutely necessary. I think in a children's fictional book where a character is described as pale but is essentially an evil wizard, who turns out not to be so evil in the end, I don't really think it matters whether this person is played by a black man, an Indian man, an Asian man, a Korean man. You know, who cares? As long as it's a great actor. Get a great actor in from a great part. That's all I care about. Yeah, I think it looks all right. It looks, better than I was expecting. Better than I was expecting. HBO Max original. Okay. Yeah, I was quite pleasantly surprised. Shall we go and have a look at the studio in Leavesden and see if there's anything interesting to be seen from the air? I think we should. Let's go and have a Michael Google. Drew Gordon is more keen on One Piece season 3. I haven't even got to the end of season 1 yet. I liked it, but there was too much going on. Too much going on in my life to commit to watching it. So it's Leavesden Studios, isn't it? There we go. I'm supposed to be going on the Harry Potter tour soon. So I wonder how many of the same sets that they used. Here we go. So this is Leavesden Studios, where you can both go on the Harry Potter tour and so on. Now, to show you where this is in relation to London, if we zoom out a bit, it's north of Watford. There's Watford, and Watford is north. I guess you call it extreme northwest, almost halfway between London and St Albans. All right. Pinewood's not a million miles away from here. A lot of the film studios are in this kind of area. So we zoom in much further. You can see that's a water tank set, I believe. Yeah, that's a water tank set. Here's all your trailers cast. So there's clearly a big production going on at the minute there, because you've got a cast production trailers there. See, these are the ones that extend out. So when they transport these ones, they kind of concertina in to half the size, so they're easier to transport. So this is interesting. We've got a set here. I wonder what set that is. That looks like it's partly being demolished. It might say they might be taking that down. So this is like an American, that you can tell from the Art Deco, that's an American shop front of some kind. Not sure what that curved area is, but that looks like that's a set that's been deconstructed, because I think I saw this set before when it was in its full status. Yeah, because you've got sort of, you've got another junction here where someone can film. A lot of these vehicles that are left around, these will be prop vehicles, prop cars. You can see these orange things. These are draggers and loaders for moving either large bits of set or vehicles. See here, you've got a road section for road chases. And right, so you see these are crates, like storage crates that you get on a boat. And what they do is they mount inflatable green or blue screens on these. And you can just see them. See here how they've been put on. So this whole road section, this would be how you would film a car chase. And you can see they've even got sections of green screen here. It's quite short, that road section, but you'd probably, you'd probably film. It looks like these look like sort of the black SUVs. So this is where like some sort of gunfight would have been filmed. And again, it looks like this is probably already done. So not sure what this is. Is that a ziggurat of some kind, like a pyramid sort of thing? So I don't think any of this production stuff is for Harry Potter. These will be for other things. These white buildings over here, these would be things like catering tents, because these are temporary structures that can be erected and taken down pretty quickly, or some of them will be. That looks like another set. So this is another set here. Look for another show. These will be a series of streets. And the way you arrange these is so that you get multiple angles with just a few construction lights. So you put the camera here, you can film all along here. Put the camera here, you can shoot all the way down here and so on. And up here, you got another street, and you get maximum stuff out of this very easily. So if you look at the main interior studios are here. These are the main interior studio filming spaces. So that's all of these. That's probably offices. This would be a studio, another studio here. Probably got, I don't know whether that's one that can be put into several, or it's another studio, another studio, another studio. The tour, I think the tour section covers these two buildings here predominantly, not the ones that go beyond it. So it is still very much a working film studio, very much so. Yeah, there you go. We go down onto the roadway, have a quick peek about, give you an idea of the size of the place. So that's all being constructed there. Often what you'll find with film studio areas is that they'll have a bank of trees and raised earth on the outskirts, and I mean that's partly for security, but it's also a sound barrier so that the surrounding traffic isn't heard in the studio sets themselves. This looks like another set area down here. Look at this. Yeah, look here, we've got a boat, again surrounded by green screen for filming. So I'm not sure what film there. Some of you might know what this boat is from. I don't personally. Is that a boat from One Piece? Could that be? I think One Piece was shot in South Africa because one of my friends was in it. Here we've got a castle. So there's a little castle set here. Look at that. So, and that's got there's like a white tree here. That feels very Game of Thrones, doesn't it? White tree. So you've got the interior, you've got some battlements there. So you've got several places to shoot with this thing. Yeah. There's a couple of other sets here that look like they've been recently taken down. So that's what you would call the backlot. And so, for example, if you go on this side of the road here, you'll see these are really high raised mounds of earth. So people driving past can't see what's being shot. And then nearby, you've got the Quartermaster Military Store. So this is a production store for weapons and uniforms and things of that nature. There'll be lots of local businesses that will be tied into the studio itself. And then there'll be some on the premises and there'll be some near the premises. And also a lot of this is relatively new. A lot of these, guarantee you the studio will own several of these on the basis that they can rent them out to either production executives or people of that nature visiting, so they can have accommodation really close by if they wish. Most producers will say, fuck that, put me up in a first class hotel in London. And they'll have a car that will drive them in and out every day. Personally, if I knew I was doing long days, I would like my hotel to be 5-minute walk away, unless I particularly wanted to be going out on the town every day. So that's Warner Brothers Studios there, where the new show's being filmed. Okay, people in chat, what do you think of that trailer? Did you like it? Are you chomping at the bit? Are you chomping at the bit to see it? While you're have I ever been on the tour? No, I haven't. I'm planning on going pretty soon. Someone's invited me. I always wanted to go, but because I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, I like the show. It's fine. I haven't read the books. It was never kind of, oh, I gotta go. Whereas if it was a Lord of the Rings studio tour, I'd be there. But you know, that's in New Zealand, so. And of course, most of it's gone. You can see all the miniatures. You can do the wetter cave thing, and I will do that one day. But yeah. So yeah, what did you think of it, guys? What did you think of it? While you're deciding, I'm going to run some behind the scenes footage for you from something I shot.
company is being assigned to carry out one of the most important tasks on D-Day. I can't think of anyone who has a more vital objective. Your company will be capturing 2 bridges intact, less than 500 yards apart, in a coup de main assault in 6 gliders. You will land at night and hold them until relieved. The main threat to you is the 21st Panzer Division. They've taken a beating, but they're an elite unit, well armed, with self-propelled guns, tanks, and plenty of artillery. If they counterattack straight away, you can expect your casualties to be high. But no matter what happens, no matter what they throw at you, you must hold that bridge.
No, I found that behind the scenes show reel of all the stuff we'd shot and prepped for the Pegasus Bridge movie the other day, and I nearly deleted it because that is the film of mine that never got released. This was because the producers on it turned out to be con men, basically, and what a right bunch of wankers they were. Yeah, so we unfortunately didn't get to do the main, what you would call the main shoot. That's that guy's got the same name as me, Steen. That's the stunt guy who did that trampoline job explosion. Great fun that was. And yeah, I mean, I look back at that with a lot of fond memories, actually, of when we were prepping everything and it was all coming together, and it just really felt positive, and everybody was saying yes. Everybody was saying yes to doing stuff. You know, we had Henry Cavill wanted a role, and there were so many people who were up for it. The momentum was there. The public were really excited. Yeah, I remember doing that interview with you, mate. I do remember that. And then suddenly it all went tits up, and we realised these people were not who they claimed. And it's possible, mate. It could be revived with 9 million quid. So if you've got that money, then please send it my way. I would agree, Admiralty. Definitely one of the biggest feats. So I think the two. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of really important heroic things that happened on D-Day. Pegasus Bridge was probably the most influential, because if that hadn't been successful, you would have had German armour coming over that flank of the invasion in mass numbers pretty quickly, and that would have caused the Allies a lot of problems. I don't think the eventual outcome would have been different, but I think it would have caused a lot of problems. Could have rolled up a big part of the Allied invasion. So that mission was extremely vital. There was the attack on the bunkers as well, was very important, as was. Oh, Ollie, why don't you come on, mate? I'll send you the link. Come on for a chat. So, because I was about to wind this up, but if you come on, I'll stay on. Let me. I'll get you the link and I'll drop it. I'll drop it to you on Facebook, buddy. Ollie's an independent filmmaker. Yeah. So the feat I was about to say, the feat at Point de Hoc, and I've been to Point de Hoc, and man, you know, those are. I mean, the craters at Point de Hoc are huge. Those shell craters are big shell craters. Let me tell you. But it's yeah, it's an interesting interesting thing what happened there. D-Day, just incredible feat of bravery. Huge number of British paratroopers drowned on D-Day. They were released over the swamp area, and they drowned. Huge number. So not sure who the target audience is for. Are you talking about the Harry Potter trailer? I assume you are. Just do you want to clarify that? we're kind of going down a rabbit hole on other topics now, but yeah. I listen. It appeals to me, so, and I'm not the target audience, and I wasn't particularly bothered about watching it. Now I'm kind of interested. Now it looks dark. I'm kind of like, oh, okay. This doesn't look like a straight rerun of the movies. I'm quite liking the look of this. I like that they've gone for a different look and different feel. I mean, there's no point in just remaking the movies again, is there? What's the point in that? No point in doing that. Yeah, Darth Plato is going to eat this up at the very least. We shall see. I'll hang on for a bit, see if Ollie is coming on. Yeah, what else have I got on my video things I can pop on here while we're talking? Lancey dancing, obviously. I don't need to see that. It's me dancing down by the river. So I've got quite an important gig coming up in that respect, and I'm going to be dancing with these laser gloves on, which are pretty cool. I'd show them to you, but they're all the way over there. Plus, I've got to turn all the lights off, and I don't know how that'll look. I actually just remind myself I've got to go and practice with them. Here's the problem, right? These are laser gloves. There's four lasers on each glove. And the only place I can practice with them is in the garden, because I've got to practice with them in the dark. And I'm worried that we get police helicopters over here quite a lot. And I'm worried that if I'm practicing with them in the garden, I'm going to attract the attention of the police, and they'll come, and I don't know what the legality is around all that. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't be pointing them up at the helicopter and going all that sort of thing, because I've seen people do that with like laser pens, and they've gone and got arrested, and rightly so, because it's dangerous. But I wouldn't be deliberately doing that. I would be, you know, I would be dancing in a club. That's where I'm supposed to do that. So Professor R2 is not impressed. The Harry Potter shows a no for me. I'm not convinced they'll be faithful to the books or be able to avoid inserting modern politics and ideology into the story. Well, that's interesting. No, I didn't do anything, buddy. You misheard me. Somebody else with a laser pen. I saw it on one of these police camera action things. Shined it up on shined it at a police helicopter, and they got arrested. Yeah, I'm not convinced this is a problem. I mean, unless they're gonna cover all the stuff with the dad, I don't think it matters. To be honest, I really don't think it matters. So it'll just come down to whether the actor's any good. That's what I think. Okay, Ollie's not coming on. Fine. All right. So in summary, then, with the Harry Potter, I think the trailer actually looks all right. The trailer was better than I was expecting, and it might be all right. I mean, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan on the planet, so I enjoyed the movies. I never bought them on DVD or Blu-ray. I never felt the need to own them, yeah, it was enough for me to watch them once in the cinema and then forget about them. One thing that's worth mentioning is my friend Angela Thomas, who passed away. Some of you will know about her. There's a music video for her on the channel. I might play it out when we end. And she was an extra in a couple of them, and so was Jennifer Corley was an extra in a couple of the Harry Potter films. And both Jenny and Angela both died quite young. both in their 40s, both from sudden brain hemorrhages, and both were friends of mine. And I found that very, very difficult. I mean, Angela's death really hit me very hard because we were extremely close, and there was an expectation that we were going to date at some point. And I, you know, got to talk to her about all that in the final hours of her life. So there's a whole story there. If you want to see that story, watch my feature film, The Journey. It's on my channel. Jennifer was different. We had worked together a couple of times. Then we lost touch. Then we got back in touch just after she got married and had a kid. We were always really good friends. And she was a really beautiful woman. I was really pleased that she sort of had found the love of her life and had a kid, and they'd moved to New York, and it all seemed to be going really well. And then she was on holiday with one of her sisters, I think celebrating a wedding anniversary, and had a headache in the morning, and she collapsed, and boom, that was that, you know. So anyway, they're both connected to Harry Potter. And the interesting thing is, on the morning that I got the call about Angela having collapsed, we were supposed to go and see one of the Harry Potter films, and it wasn't, I think it would have been, actually I can tell from the dates of release, it would have been the one that came out in 2009. Let me find out which one that was. Half-Blood Prince, that's right. It was released on the 15th of July. Fuck yeah. God, yeah, that's right. That was the date that she collapsed. So we were supposed to go and see. Yeah, we were supposed to go and see that day. I can't remember if it's because she was in it, or if she'd done a couple of scenes as an extra, or whether she'd done some scenes in a different Harry Potter movie, and she was just wanted to see the Harry Potter movie. So we would go and see them together, and yeah, you know, and I kept calling and calling and calling. She never picked up the phone, and then someone called me back and told me she'd been found collapsed at home. So got rushed into hospital. She was conscious when I went in, and we did get to talk, and I stayed in that hospital for the best part of about 5 hours, I think. So it's yeah. So that's a memory that's all connected to Harry Potter for me, which is not the best memory. But there we are. So I'm going to go and see. I think I'll go and see. I'll go and watch. I'll go all the way to my television set and watch the first one. This is the video I made about. It's a song actually that I did for my friends, and I have these dreams. This song is already on my channel, so some of you will have seen it. I have these dreams where when I fall asleep, now and then, which you need to be when you're dreaming, of course. I wake up in a different timeline, and it's like I'm waking up there, and this is the dream. And I've been in this. I call it like time jumping, or jumping into the parallel timeline. And I've done this 4 times now. I think it's about 4 or 5 times. Last time was at the beginning of this year. I did it once last year. I think once in 24 maybe, once in 2023. And this has all happened since 2022, which is when I was diagnosed with PTSD. And in this other timeline, I'm still happily married. My friends Angela and Jennifer are still alive. And I always wake up in Greece, which is one of the happiest holidays I ever had. Thank you, R2, appreciate you, and also the other people heading out. And yeah, so it's so real there, and these dreams can go on for ages. And I'm not the only person that has these kinds of dreams, because I've asked around, and they're more common than I thought. But they're so real But when I eventually wake up, I'm totally disorientated and I don't know where I am. And it takes about 10 minutes for me to kind of put my head back in to place and work out what's going on. Anyway, this is a song that I did about that. I wrote all the lyrics. I scripted where pieces come and stuff. So let me just check that the sound is in the right. I'm sharing the right box here. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I hope you like it. And thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit.
I woke up from a long dream just the other night. Gave myself quite the scary fright. I'd woken from living in another life. Everything there, it felt so very real. Everything there, you could touch, you'd smell, you'd feel. It all felt so real. So real. Oh, so real. Real to me. It wasn't like any other dream. This went on for weeks and weeks. My life there had taken a different turn. The world around hadn't begun to burn. Humanity wasn't quite so bleak. I'd gone back to the summer of 2009, enjoying a holiday on the beach with a glass of wine. I could smell the forest full of scented pines. I felt the warm water and the surrounding ocean, lying on a Greek island with not a notion. No idea this was a parallel life as I sat there smiling with my wife. It was just so real. Oh, so real. Real to me. Weeks there turned into months. Then months, they turned into years. My old life here was a fading memory, but this one felt so real and so near. You could talk to the people on the street. You woke up each day. You'd know the people you'd meet. But the very best thing was that Angela Thomas and Jennifer Coralie, they hadn't gone away, gone away. No, they were there every day. Oh, every day. It felt so real. Oh, so real. Oh, so real. Angela said, Lance, I am so sorry I had to go. I just ran up and hugged her tight. All I could manage to say was, I know, you didn't want to go. we laughed again, dancing on the beach with both of them. It had been such a very long, long while since I'd seen Jenny's beautiful smile. But by far the biggest prize was getting to look into Angela's eyes and hear her say, in that very special way, that everything in my life was going to be okay. Be okay. Oh, every day, it all felt so real, so real. All the pain had gone away. We danced to the sinking sun every day. I got to hold you in that special way. Oh, every day we held each other in that special way. It felt so real, so real, oh, so real. And then I was awake, real. It wasn't real, or is this the dream? How can I get back? I wish I could open the door to where I've just been before. Is that so real, so real, oh, so real. So now every day I wonder if my life could have really turned out this way. To find out, I guess I'll have to wait until I sleep once more to dream rather than weep. Somewhere out there in another timeline, it feels that my life is carrying on. Now everything in this one, it just feels